Hi there, I'm the Reverend Danny Crosby, a Unitarian minister serving congregations in Altrincham and in Urmston in the northwest of England. And I offer this devotion as a balm for the heart, for the mind, for the spirit, and for the soul. And it's titled, May We Be Known by the Fruits of Mother Nurture. And it's a kind of celebration for Mother's Day, Mothering Sunday. The celebration of Mother has a long history. It dates back to the time of ancient Greece and Rome. It is not merely, as some would suggest, a creation of the greeting cards company to make money out of us. The celebration of Mother and motherhood has been with us for many, many centuries. It is said that Mothering Sunday, which is what today is officially, was about returning home to either family or to the Mother Church, returning to a place of total acceptance and love, a place where the love within us can grow, a place of nurture. That is what it is said to be. Now, of course, these days, Mothering Sunday has become known as Mother's Day, which follows the American tradition that's celebrated in May, actually, an official holiday, and not the middle Sunday of Lent as it's celebrated in Britain. So it moves around, actually, depending on when Easter falls and Lent begins. Now, during the 20th century, due in no small part to the promotion of Constance Smith, Mothering Sunday began to be marked on the fourth Sunday of Lent, known as Late Sunday, which meant rejoice, actually. It grew in popularity following the First World War, and I suspect that it was linked again to this concept of returning home to a place of safety, love, and nurture, returning home to your own homes after the horrors of the First World War. That's when it seemed to grow in this country. It's disputed really the history of mothering. It's even Mothering Sunday, actually. Some of it thinks it's more mythological, and it was something that was promoted really following the American tradition. It's of disputed origin. So Mothering Sunday, Mother's Day, whatever its actual true origins, I believe is enshrined in this image of returning home and this sense of belonging to something more than just ourselves. Not just celebrating our mothers, there's something more going. It is about that, of course, but there's something more here about this place of nurture, of warmth, of acceptance, of love. And whether that's actually of children returning to the family home, been working away, or people returning to the Mother Church, their spiritual home, or those returning home after war, after conflict. Whatever the real origins are, at its heart it seems to be about returning home to a place of safety, about returning home to a place of renewal, about returning home to a place of rebirth. And not only for ourselves, but for something more than ourselves, for others, which, again, this image of mother, I think. It's about returning to a place of love and total acceptance of who we are, exactly as we are, no matter what we have done or where we have been. Returning to this place where we are accepted with open, loving arms. It's about returning to that place where love is not only born, but love is nurtured and love is grown and love is brought out into its true being. That's what I think this day is really about for all of us. Mother's Day is this celebration of being held and nurtured in the spirit of love. Mother's Day is about celebrating the spirit of the idealized spirit of mother. And I've been thinking these last few days and remembering so many folk who have accepted and cared for me. I have been remembering how they have nurtured me in my life, how they offered unconditional love, regardless of their gender or even their familial link. I mean, all kinds of people who have shown this, expressed this love in my life. This care, this nurturing love is, to me, is what we're here to do. It's the most it's what matters most to me. And that's what I celebrate today. And I celebrate my own mother, of course I do. But I celebrate more this deeper love that I think we're all here to give one another and sharing. Someone dear to my heart has been very unwell in hospital this week, very concerning at times. And this person offered me nurture and care on what may have been the most heartbreaking day of my life, certainly one of. I've spoken of it before. If you followed my videos, you will be aware of this. But this person, they gave me a simple and humble bowl of soup. They set me down, they sat me down, they got me to sit down and to settle down and to eat. I was broken. They nurtured and cared for me. I know them by the fruit that they gave to me, and it has fed me and sustained me for the last 20 years come this November. And it's this fruit that I have attempted to live by in my own ministry. I think it is at the heart of my ministry, my work today. It is a fruit I will never forget. As Jesus said in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 7, verse 20, thus you will know them by their fruits. Thus you will know them by their fruits. That bowl of soup to me is the ultimate example of the divine love alive, manifested in human form. And this to me is what days like Mother's Day, Mothering Sunday, days like today are actually about. They are about celebrating this nurturing love and finding ways to bring this love alive through our humble human being. Not perfectly, in fact, often falteringly, but it needs to be at the heart of what we live by. Now, even if those who have shared this love with us are no longer physically with us, we can still hold that love, that nurture, and nurture it in our hearts, in our minds, in our spirits, in our souls, held lovingly by the one eternal soul of life. This is the love that I try to live by. It's a love I hope we all try to live by. It's at the heart of my ministry. We need to live by love and accept one another in the way that the idealised mother does. That idealised image of the maternal love. No one ever reaches it, but it's an ideal that we aspire to. May we reach toward it, even if at times in fear. May we find the courage to offer one another this nurturing, unconditional love. Symbolised to me in a simple bowl of soup. Today we celebrate the spirit of Mother. Today we celebrate and give thanks for those who gave birth to our being, but we do more than that. Today we celebrate those who have nurtured and brought to life the love within us, whether they are the ones who gave birth to our bodies or help nurture and bring to life something within us. Today we celebrate the spirit of Mother. Today we celebrate those who have nurtured our lives, whether in body, in mind, in heart or in soul. Surely this is the fruit we would want to be known by. Today, as we celebrate the spirit of Mother, we acknowledge our responsibility to one another as individuals, as community. This responsibility to nurture, to bring to life the love within ourselves, one another and the wider human community. Can we be known by this loving, nurturing and life-sustaining fruit? And the truth is, we are always known by our fruit. And as the old saying goes, the fruit never falls far from the tree. Isn't that the image of what comes from our being? To use a maternal metaphor, we are constantly giving birth to something each and every day. We are all a part of the divine creation and recreation. And it's vital we recognise this. As Annie Dillard wrote, we are here to witness creation and to abet it. We are here to bring to consciousness the beauty and power that are all around us and to praise the people who are here with us. Thus we praise this Mother's Day. And this is nurture. This is bringing alive the spirit of mother. This is what we celebrate this Mother's Day. This is the fruit at the heart of this day. Mothering Sunday, whatever its actual true origins, is enshrined in this image of returning home. It's about returning home to a place of safety and, I believe, a place of sustenance. Whether that be actual physical food, like that bowl of soup, or a kind of spiritual food, whether it be simnel cake, a bowl of soup, or the bread of heaven. It's about loving whatever form love comes. May we be known by that fruit. But it's about returning to this place, to home, I guess. And they say there is no place like home, don't they? And these words, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. No place like home brings to my mind and my heart Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. In the film, she begins by singing of somewhere over the rainbow, a place far away from the drudgery and the mundanity of life, a place where she can be set free, away from home, boring home. But at the end, she clicks those ruby slippers and says those immortal words, there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Like the prodigal, she wants to return. Dorothy has been on a spiritual journey and encountered all manner of fascinating friends along the way. She's also fought off enemies who wanted to destroy her. She has experienced, she's learnt so much. But in the end, she just wants to return home. Back to Kansas in her case. And for many of us, home is the embodiment of safety and acceptance, the heart and the half of a loving family. As Robert Frost wrote about home, that home is the place where when you have to go there, they have to take you in, like the prodigal. But it's not the case for everyone, and it's important to acknowledge that on this day, that for those that find this day hard, that for so many people, home and family is not a place of safety at all. In fact, it's a place of real struggle and suffering, perhaps the most. So days like this, for such people, home is a hard place to go. Important to acknowledge this. For those that it's hard, a friend of mine was talking about that Saturday morning. Home is a tiny word, but a powerful word, and one so rich in meaning. It is a word that can hold such dreams of possibilities or deep nightmares of hurt. It is more than a physical place, it's an idea, an ideal, a feeling, a vision. It is something that we carry with us as we journey through life, not just something that we seek. For some, it's a place that they are fleeing from, a place of repression, actually, not a place of loving possibility. That said, whatever it is we are fleeing from, in the end, like the prodigal, we must return home, just as Dorothy did, and there's no place like home. Now, the home we may be returning to may be the home in our own hearts, by the way. It may not be a physical place. There's no place like home. And it's Now, There's No Place Like Home comes from John Howard Payne's 19th century operetta, Clary or The Maid of Milan. And the full verse reads as follows: Mid pleasures and palaces, though we may roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. A charm from the skies seems to hallow us there, which seek through the world is ne'er met elsewhere. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And these are the words that Dorothy repeats as she clicks her ruby slippers and wishes to return to that place of safety, to the womb of love. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. When I think of motherhood and or mother church, this is what I think of returning to a place of sustenance, of nurture, where one feels that they can recharge and begin again in love. A place that is known by these loving, loving fruits. And this does not have to be a physical place or doesn't have to be a person. The truth is, you don't need to go anywhere. This place of nurture, of sustenance, can only be really found in the ground where you find yourself. In fact, the truth is, what we really need to do is find ourselves at home within our own human being. And then we can enjoy these fruits and we can share these fruits with others. We can be known by the fruit that doesn't fall far from the tree. If you saw my film Devotion a few weeks ago, at the beginning of Lent, you remember that I spoke of, instead of giving things up, seeing instead what we can give, nurturing the things that we have so we can share these fruits with others, that we make a place within us that is a welcome to others, actually, to find ways to be better prepared to truly use these gifts, these fruits, to be of service to the world and the world all around us. We just need to nurture that which we already have, which we already possess, and share that fruit. And that maybe that's what we should be preparing this season. And home also teaches me if things get too much, I can always return and do a Dorothy, click my slippers and be transported to the loving arms of warm Mother God. For we all need a place of shelter at times when things just seem too much. That's what communities, spiritual communities that I serve, are attempting to be like. And that bowl of soup always reminds me of this sacred ideal of what we aspire to be, of what that love is. And even though I can't taste it anymore, it still feeds me. It still sustains me every single day of my life. It is the fruit I attempt to live by every morning when I awake, to keep that love alive and to share that love with all I meet. This Mothering Sunday, this Mother's Day, may we remember those who have loved and cared for us, those who nurtured us, those who shared their fruit, those who helped us feel at home. Let us remember this love. And may we also find ways to live by that same love, to bring that love alive through our humble human being. May we be known by these fruits. May we become places of welcome, places of nurture, places of love. For our world surely needs it now as much as it's ever needed it. And we need it too. Certainly, I know I do. May we be known by such fruit. So on this day set aside to honour mothers, let's remember those who have offered us the unconditional and wholly accepting love of the mother ideal. Those who have offered their unquestioning love to us. Those who have offered their nurturing heart and encourage us to begin again in love. And let's also commit to living this way ourselves, to offer this love to all that we meet. To not just tolerate the people we meet as they are, but to love them, to accept them. Let's offer to them the nurturing hand of love. May we be known by these fruits. May we be known by these fruits. I invite you to join with me in prayer. A prayer for all who mother. Let us pray. We reflect in thanksgiving this day for all those whose lives have nurtured ours, the life-giving ones who heal with their presence, who listen in sympathy, who give wise advice, but only when asked for it. We are grateful for those who have mothered us, who have held us gently in times of sorrow, who celebrated with us our triumphs, no matter how small, who noticed when we changed and grew, who praised us for taking risks, who took genuine pride in our success, and who expressed genuine compassion when we did not succeed. On this day that honours mothers, let us honour all mothers, men and women alike, who from somewhere in their being have freely and wholeheartedly given life and sustenance and vision to us. Dear God, Mother, Father of us all, grant us life-giving ways, strength for birthing and a nurturing spirit, that we may take attentive care of our world, our communities, and those precious beings entrusted to us by biology, or by destiny, or by friendship, fellowship, or fate. Give us the heart of a mother today and in all the days to come. Amen. So I'm going to end with some final words of blessing. You know, we need to bless more, and we can all bless. You don't need to be a special person. You are a special person. And we bless when we give ourselves wholeheartedly to life. Let's be known by these fruits. So I'm going to end with some words called Hold On by Nancy Woods. Some final words of blessing. Hold on to what is good, even if it's a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it's a tree which stands by itself. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Hold on to my hand, even when I've gone away from you. Hold on to each other, and in faith and hope and love. Even just these things will see you through. And may the love of God hold us and sustain us, and may it do so in all that we feel, in all that we think, in all that we say, in all that we do. Amen.